Alright guys, welcome to the Duck Dodgers Q&A. As always, if I did not answer someone's question, that usually means it got marked as spam or didn't show up at all on the list, so I do want to apologize in advance for that. That's YouTube's fault, not mine. But having said that, let's jump right into this Q&A, starting with Matthew Roscoe, who asks, Martian Queen or Peridot, who is sexier? I have to give it to the Martian Queen because, yeah, Peridot's just cute. Then there's Martian Queen, Tyranny, who is sexy. Second question, how would a Duck Dodgers game play out? I would imagine something like a side-scroll, like something like a 32-bit type game, like a parody of that, something of that nature, maybe? Anyway, third question. What would happen if Boom Studios decide to make a Duck Dodgers comic book series, like they did with Regular Show? I don't think they have, I think if anyone can make a Duck Dodgers comic, it would be DC, because they're under Warner Brothers. And, yeah, I know it's weird, but, yeah, Cartoon Network has comic books under both IDW, and their more recent ones are under Boom Studios. It's really weird. But the Looney Tunes properties are strictly under DC. Yeah, so if anyone's going to do that, it would be DC. And how would I see it done? Just continue on with the series, really. Just keep it going. That's all I ask, is just keep that flame alive, So yeah, that's kind of how I see it, really. Anyway, moving on now to Mitch Meister, who asks, would you like to see Duck Dodgers return, and if so, would it be a reboot or continuation? Probably a continuation. I've always liked continuations, if you do it right. Yeah, continuation. So thank you for that question, Mitch Meister. Moving on now to Nolan Uno, who asks, Duck Dodger's ship comes across a Star Destroyer. Will it be able to stand his ground or reach a new level of I'm screwed? Probably get blasted out of the sky. Second question. Duck Dodgers takes control of King Ghidorah. What will happen throughout the episode? I think it would be more like he thinks he controls Ghidorah, but it'd be more like the thing's running around and just conveniently destroying all the things he wants destroyed until he realizes, oh, I'm not controlling it, and then shit hits the fan. What would Duck Dodgers think of you and your mom and dad? I don't know. I don't really care, neither. So thank you for those questions, Nolan. Moving on now to King Nazaru, who asks, how many times would you have anal with the Martian Queen? Okay, guys. I looked at, before I saw these, I did the Q&A, I looked at all the questions, and I'm like, man, there are just so much, there is just so much sex questions for Tyranny. I mean, I can understand why. She was completely hot, and she got away with it, and she was voiced by the actress who played Cassandra in Wayne's World, so I don't blame you. Hell, I think I tugged the monkey a few times on Tyranny. Anyway, so I'm not blaming anybody. I'm just surprised I wasn't I'm surprised that there. Actually, no, I shouldn't be surprised that there are this many questions regarding Tyranny, and all these sexy questions. But having said that, let's jump into this question with how many times would you have anal with the Martian Queen? Probably a lot. What? What? I mean, have you seen that ass? It's amazing. Like, holy shit! It's like perfection right there. I mean, she can't have a mouth, so oral's kind of out of the door. But I would imagine, God closes a door, he opens a window, and I would imagine that window would be her asshole. So, it would just be like total perfection in there. I mean, not like it would probably be second best because her vagina would probably be just magnificence incarnate. I'm thinking too much into this. Anyway, so yes. Second question: would Duck Dodgers and Cadet Porky think? I think they just called him the Cadet. What would they think of Obi-Wan, Anakin, and Skywalker and Ahsoka Tano? I think the Cadet would respect all of them, while Dodgers would think, what a bunch of assholes. Third question: Duck Dodgers thinks he saw Sora. What would Duck Dodgers think if he saw Sora and the other Keyblade wielders transforming their Keyblades into space vehicles? He would try to steal one and make it his own. That's literally what he would do. Anyway, Same with those questions, Nazaru. Moving on now to Alexander Anayas, who asks, what is your funniest moment from the show? Oh, I've got several. Like, in the episode where Porky tells a story to his his nieces and nephews, who are all voiced by the actors who Trace McNeil, Rob Paulson, and Jess Hartnell, all basically doing their voices for Yakko, Wacko, and Dot, and he basically tells them kind of like a story of like Aladdin. And Dodgers has this moment during this wedding scene where he's like, "Oh yeah, it's all love and peace and everything until you wake up one morning and you're handcuffed to a radiator. I'm not bitter." There are some great jokes in here, like when he's talking to Sinestro, who was voiced by John Delancey. He's talking to him, and he's like, "Wow, up close you really do look like the devil." Anyway, there's just some shit in here that's just hilarious. What is your favorite episode? Second question from Alex. What is my favorite episode? My favorite episode, I love the Green Lantern crossover. That was a lot of fun. The Green Lantern crossover was just tons and tons of fun. I would also say the... what was another good... There's so many good ones, like when they encounter the Fudd. Oh, that's a great episode. The Iron Giant parody, that's also really good. There's just some real... I really can't pick one. The Tom Jones episode is also amazing, where Tom Jones and Dodgers switch voices, and it's goddamn amazing. Anyway, third question is, if Duck Dodgers joins the Rebel Alliance, who would be the first member to snap and blast him? Han. Is it even really a contest? It would be Han. Anyway, thank you for those questions, Alex. Moving on now to Matt Bennett, who asks, your thoughts on the Green Lantern crossover episode and the fact that Dodgers nearly drove Sinestro insane. I love that episode. I love everything about it, how it actually gave a lot of respect to the Green Lantern Corps, and it's actually kind of funny because were it not for this were they not going to do a Green Lantern crossover, they actually considered doing a crossover with Star Wars, where Dodgers joins the Jedi for a mission. He joins the Jedi on a mission, but then I guess Lucasfilm said no, they didn't want to do that, and I guess Warner Brothers didn't want to do that, and they just thought it'd be easier to go with their own property. So yeah, I'm actually fine with that. And actually, this was a time you got to also understand that this Green Lantern crossover happened in a time where Green Lantern was hardly ever talked about, unless you were talking about the Jeff Johns run. That was literally it. This was years before the movie. Yeah, this was years before the the Ryan Reynolds film, and the only thing coming out was the animated film, and that had no continuity either. So you got to give him credit for doing something, crossing over with a hero that at the time, even the whole Corps, they didn't even focus on Hal Jordan. Which, by the way, when you think about it, why is Hal Jordan in the 24th and a half century? Yeah, but I thought it was cool to have Chip, Kilowog, and Kat Matui as the main characters to focus on. And the fact they were voiced by John DiMaggio, Tara Strong, and Frank Welker, respectively, I thought that was also pretty fun. And John Delancey as Sinestro, that was fucking brilliant. Anyway, so thank you for that question, Matt Bennett. Moving on now to Grod Hanks, who asks, Duck Dodgers meets Howard the Duck, what happens? Oh, those two would fucking kill each other. Those two would just straight out murder each other's asses. Second question, of all the space villains in the show, like Wander Over Yonder, Steven Universe... Oh wait, of all the space villains in other shows like Wander Over Yonder, Steven Universe, Invader Zim, which one would you have liked to see Duck Dodgers meet the most? Probably Lord Dominator try to hit on her and then get his ass kicked. And yeah, Lord Dominator. Second question, which one of the Doctors would you love to see meet the Dodger? Would you like to have meet Dodgers? Which of the 12 Doctors would I love to see Dodgers hang out with? I would have to pick maybe maybe Colin Baker era Doctor number 6, just so Dodgers can continuously rag on his clothes. Anyway, so thinking of those questions, Rod Hanks. Moving on now to Andrew Varney, who asks, Duck Dodgers meets the Daleks. How long does it take him to get exterminated? Not long. He'd be like, he'd actually, like, how he would piss off the Daleks is, like, he would try to use one as a trash can and try to throw something in there. The Dalek, like, starts sputtering and out of control. It's like, you, a foreign contaminant, exterminate. Yeah. Second question. Duck Dodgers crash lands in Beach City and meets Steven and Connie. What happens next? Oh, he would completely hate them. He's like, ugh, magical kids. I hate this bullshit. Man. Third question. Marvin the Martian reaches out to the following: Lord Dominator, Ziminger, Kylo Ren, Yellow Diamond, Golden Frieza, General Zod, the Borg, Beerus, Hit from Dragon Ball Super, and last but not least, Batman. Oh, he reacts to them. Oh. Well, I think he's technically met. There's actually a a Looney Tunes Justice League crossover where they do meet. I haven't read it, but I've heard interesting things about it. But yeah, I don't know what he would think, but I would imagine he would be terrified of all the other following characters. So anyway, thank you for those questions, Andrew Varney. Moving on now to Carlotta Studios, who asks, Duck Dodgers crashes his ship on Atmos. Obviously, the Stormhawks go to investigate. How will the squadron react to these two aliens and vice versa? And how long till Piper's patience lasts until she attempts to blow Dodgers up? Wouldn't take that long, because Dodgers has a tendency to rub everyone the wrong way real fast, unless it's the Martian Queen, who for some reason thinks he's like a tactical genius. It's not like with Wander, who I believe really is a genius. He just pretends to be an idiot. No, Dodgers is an idiot, and some people just think he's a genius. Also, I think it would be hilarious to see, Dodgers and Finn guitar battle each other. Second question. How do you think Duck Dodgers and the Looney Ticks from Looney Tunes Unleashed would react meeting each other? Oh, that would not go well, because Dodgers would be like, ugh, did you guys crawl out of a 90s comic book? Fuck you. Alright. Third question. Master Cyclonus versus Tyranny. Which of these evil empresses would win? Yeah, Tyranny does know how to fight, guys. She does, she trained herself to kill Dodgers. So, I think she's a great hand-to-hand fighter, but then you have Cyclonus, who's younger, and has, those crystals on her sides, not to mention all those powers. So I might give it to Cyclonus, but who knows? Anyway, thank you for those questions, Carlotta. Moving on now to Christian Sager, who asks, pretending the Looney Tunes versions of Martians didn't exist, how would the show play out if there were Martians from War of the Worlds, Martian Manhunter, or Butt Ugly Martians? I think Dodgers would be laughing his collective ass off at most of these characters. He'd be like, you green bastard. Oh, you look like a chewed up green turd. Oh my god, don't get me started on you assholes. Alright. And I already answered the Lunatax, so yeah. So thank you for those questions regardless. Christian, moving on now to Mr. Marvel Fan 101, who asked, what were your thoughts on the Megadeth crossover episode? Oh, that was so cool. I love that. Sorry, to get some water. For those who don't know, there's this great episode where the Martians devise this weapon that uses sound waves, and they're going to use it on Earth. But Dodgers comes up with this plan to resurrect. He frees Dave Mustaine. Yeah, Dave Mustaine from Megadeth as himself. And he plans to bring back, Dave Mustaine out of cryo-hibernation to combat this sonic weapon, and eventually he creates Megaduck, but then the cadet unfreezes the rest of Megadeth, and they use the power of heavy metal to stop a Martian invasion. It's goddamn awesome as you think it is. I think it's really cool also how they used a song. I know they used back in the day, my personal favorite Megadeth song is Peace Sells. I think it's a wonderful song, but I like back in the day, and I'm actually surprised they got to use the song. But actually, now that I think about it, I think the record company that Megadeth is under, or was under at the time, was under Warner Brothers, so I think he was all cool. Now that I think about it. But yeah, they could have easily just said, generic rocker character and just had Dave Mustaine as the voice. But no, It was Dave Mustaine, and they actually used Megadeth. How fucking cool was that? Anyway. Second question. How do you think the show's companies compares to the original Duck Dodgers episodes from the old Looney Tunes? Well, this one, Dodgers is more of an idiot, where that one's more intrepid, but he's a little naive. In this one, he's just a straight-up idiot who is, who just gets lucky, and he's also a smartass. So, and I feel like they give him more of a character to play with in that one. Like, they really get to really get down with his character in the animated series. But yeah. That's how I kind of compare, is that there was more character development, or just a little more comedic stuff in there, and they got away with a lot more. Third question: do you think that Duck Dodgers could work as a full-length animated movie? Hell yeah, absolutely. I think that could work. Anyway, Mr. Marvel, thank you for those questions, Mr. Marvel fan. Moving on now to Darth Venom, who asks, if Bugs Bunny ever did appear in the show, what role would he have? Probably, because he did make a cameo, and there was a movie they were doing, but, yeah, and it had Bugs Bunny as the main character, but Bugs technically never showed up in the show. There were ideas for it, but they never really had Bugs in the show. How I would do it is one of two ways. Like, Bugs comes in as a rival Starfleet officer who's rising through the ranks, but he's just like, I'm just here. Like, he does not care, and of course, Dodgers thinks he's stealing his thunder, which technically he is, because he's actually doing his job. And it kind of leads to this, like I would do the duck season, rabbit season bit, but with Marvin in the middle, and have the plutonium Q space modulator. I can't do a Marvin voice for shit, so I apologize for that. But yeah, something like that. The other way would be is that they unfreeze Bugs Bunny out of cryohibernation, like Dodgers, and he's Dodgers is like, no, this is the jerk who put me in the first time. Anyway, second question: Duck Dodgers reacts to the following: Luke Skywalker, Buzz Lightyear, Superman, the Guardians of the Galaxy, Optimus Prime, He-Man, Crystal Gems. I think a lot of them are losers, except Groot and Rocket, who you just go out and party with, along with Amethyst. Second question: which sci-fi themed villains would Marvin the Martian team up with to take down Duck Dodgers? Well, he would probably team up with, his little team would be Starscream and Zim. And a lot of loser-level villains. Like, he would think he's creating the Masters of Evil, but really he's more like, oh, I've made a league of jerks. Anyway, staying with those questions, Darth Venom. Moving on to Matt Kaiser 08, who asks, what would each MLP character think of Duck Dodgers? I think Twilight would think he's an idiot. Applejack would think he's an idiot. Rainbow Dash would think he's awesome for about 2 seconds. Fluttershy would think, oh my, a talking duck. You're adorable. Oh, you're a jerk. Rarity would think he's an idiot and insensitive. Collectively, they would all hate him. That would be the general consensus, is what I'm trying to say. That the general consensus would be, we fucking hate this guy. Anyway. Second question. Abridged Nappa in the Duck Dodgers universe. How much batshit insanity will happen? Vegeta, look! Talking duck! It's a duck Pokemon, Vegeta! I can't... Yeah, I suck at impressions. I'm aware of that. Anyway. Yay! Duck season! Third question. Godzilla Duck Dodgers crossover. How would you do it? Maybe I would have it that Godzilla has been in hibernation in the Atlantic Sea for thousands of years, and now he's suddenly woken up. And they think just because Dodgers lived at the same time Godzilla did, he has some way to stop him. Anyway, that's the best I got. So think of those questions, Matt Kaiser. Moving on now to Common X, who asks, Duck Dodgers gets into Megas from Megas XLR. What happens? Oh, Dodgers would just wouldn't even use it for. He would use it for more like going into a drive-in theater. No, really, he would just go there to, to have drive-in theater. Like, he would just get in the best seats. Like, he would take the Megas and just march on in and have it in the front row seat and be like, ha, now you know how it feels, assholes. Second question: what couple would you have the Queen and Duck Dodgers date with? Oh, like a double date? Maybe Star and Marco? I don't know. If you could write a comic about the whole show, what would be your first story? I think it would be, the first story arc is maybe about Dodgers is sent on a mission on a peacekeeping talk between the humans and the Martian Alliance, and hilarity ensues when he and the Queen eventually get back together. Something like that. So, anyway, thank you for those questions, Common X. Moving on now to Jerkwater100, who asks, what would Duck Dodger's reaction be when his show got canceled? Oh, he'd be pissed off. Second question, what would Duck Dodgers think of Darkwing Duck? Oh, it would be like a Superman-Batman kind of thing, or Buck Rogers versus the Shadow, which should have been a thing. So, it would be like they have both different views, but in reality, they're not exactly the brightest people, but, they hate each other so much. So, third question, what would Duck Dodgers think of the Looney Tunes show and Wabbit? He'd be like, my show has much more laughs, and we sneak in dirty humor, too. It's amazing. You guys are assholes. I'm talking as Dodgers, not to say I hate the Looney Tunes show or Wabbit. It's just how Dodgers would probably see it. Anyway. Moving on, thank you for those questions, Jerkwater. Moving on now to Nicholas Harley, who asks, Duck Dodgers and an Animaniacs crossover. Well, how I would do it is maybe have it that Pinky and the Brain have been defrosted and now work for they work as the Brain works as the Martian brain child, as I guess you could say, for the Martian military. And yeah, Marvin versus the Brain in the end. Second question, Duck Dodgers and Steven Universe crossover. How would you do it? Maybe have it that the Gem Empire is returned and Dodgers is the only one who can stop it. I don't know. Yeah, I'm sorry, that's my chair. Third question, most funny or awesome moments in Duck Dodgers. I already answered this one, sorry. So, moving on now to Nicholas Harley, who asks, Duck Dodgers gets both Ladybug's earrings and Shat's ring. Are we screwed? Yes, we are. Don't even need to say more. Duck Dodgers in Equestria. How long until everyone wants him dead? I'd give him about an hour, maybe 2 at most. What kind of sandwich do you think Dodgers likes? Ham sandwich, and only to piss the cadet off. Like, he would just be eating it right in front of him. He'd just be like, Cadet, what? Ham sandwich, bitch. Oh god, this chair. Anyway, thank you for those questions. One of none? Yeah, one of none said those questions. Moving on now to Son of the Dragon, who asks, what would a crossover between Alien and Predator be like? Crossover between Alien and Predator. I would say that the crossover between Alien and Predator would go something like Dodgers is sent on a rescue mission, and it turns out they were searching a Predator temple, and he runs into aliens and predators. Again, that's all I got. So second question, what would happen if Dodgers met other DC villains like Darkseid, Zod, and Doomsday? He'd either annoy them to death or they would kill him. Queen Tyranny and the Martians meet Kylo Ren in the First Order. What would happen, and how screwed are they? Well, the Martian Empire looks well defended, but the First Order looks like they've got a pretty good military behind them, so that's an interesting one. Anyway, thank you for those questions, Son of the Dragon. Moving on now to Imaginate, who asks, Dodgers and the Cadet are stuck on the Xenomorph-infested planet along with Marvin and the Martian Queen. How long do they last? Probably a while. For at least a few days. Second question. Since Dodgers was a Green Lantern, what Lantern Corps would the Cadet, Marvin, and the Martian Queen be members of? Tyranny would be part of the Sinestro Corps. Marvin would probably be part of the Red Lantern Corps because everything pisses him off. And Cadet would be part of the Blue Lantern Corps because he's very hopeful. So there you go. Third question. Duck Dodgers seeing hitchhiking Howard the Duck and gives him a ride. What hijinks do they get into? Kind of already answered this. They'd probably kick each other's asses before the night's end. Anyway, thank you for those questions. Imagine8. Moving on now to Christopher Rosa, who asks, what do you think of the villains Drake Darkstar and Magnificent Rogue, and what do you think happened in another episode? Interesting question. I thought Drake Darkstar was a fun villain. I thought he was. What he did in the episode where he pretends to be Dodgers is hilarious. Magnificent Rogue was also pretty fun. I don't know what you could do with him a second time around, but I would have loved to have seen them regardless. You know. Anyway, all right. Second question: what do you think Duck Dodgers would be if the show was a little more serious? Probably not as fun because this show was hilarious on its own. It didn't need to be dark and gritty. All right. Third question: what do you think if Tina Russo from the Looney Tunes show was added to the show's Duck Dodgers girlfriend? Oh, I actually like Tina from the Looney Tunes show. I actually like the Looney Tunes show in general. I thought it was kind of funny, like sitcom-y. But yeah, I think it'd be cool. Like she's a young cadet, and eventually, Tyranny is pissed off because Dodgers has a girlfriend. She must die. Anyway, thank you for those questions, Christopher. Moving on now to Andre Partridge, who asks, what will happen if Duck Dodgers accidentally crashes into the Starship Enterprise? Picard would stick his head out of the ship and be like, "Hey, asshole! You better have insurance. I swear to, I just got that. God damn, dude, don't you get out of that car. You better have your goddamn insurance. Oh my God, I am. Oh, you're fucking dead, dude. Oh, it's scratched. I just got that repainted. I fought the fuck you, fuck you." Oh, end scene. Second question: how would Queen Tyranny and Lord Dominator meet and react to one another? Probably it would be that Lord Dominator ends up on Mars ready to crack the planet, and Tyranny's not having that shit. I think they would admire one another, but you can kill someone even if you admire them. Third question: a group of Xenomorph eggs crash into Duck Dodger's ship. What happens? I think it would be that Dodgers thinks that he can keep them as a pet, but in reality, they're probably going to grow up and kill him. So thank you for those questions, Andre. Moving on now to Fox Mulder, who asks, what is your favorite episode? I kind of already answered this. I don't really have a favorite. There's too many. If the Cadet and Dodgers and the Cadet were Jedi, what would their lightsaber colors be? I would say maybe blue for Dodgers and green for the Cadet. I don't know. Third question. Dominator. I just answered this one, so think of those questions. Fox. Moving on now to Matthew Bennett, who asks, Dodgers enters a rift in space in time that puts him in the Dark Souls universe. What happens? He is going to get his ass beat. Second question. How would you write a DD and Punisher crossover? I think I would do is like Punisher, like not use Frank Castle Punisher, but probably Punisher 2099. And have it that, the 99 Punisher is going after Tyranny to end the Martian War once and for all, and Dodgers is kind of caught in the crossfire. Something like that. And your third question is, do Mars Queen got the booty? She do! Oh, man. So think of those questions, Matthew Bennett. Yeah, Matthew Bennett. Moving on now to Linerman0245, who asks, Duck Dodgers faces the Thing, a fleet of Reavers from Firefly, Xenomorph group, the Trilopods from Godzilla, all on a Monday. How does he react? Fuck this shit, I'm out. Alright then, fuck this shit, I'm out. I know thanks, fuck this shit, I'm out. Yo, I don't know what just happened, but I'm a... whatever. He'd just be like, fuck this shit. Second question. What type of Gundam would Duck Dodgers pilot if given the chance? Probably the regular Gundam wing, something like that, just to piss off like the Arc Gundam. Just to be like, look how magnificent I am! Oh, I just smashed a building. Alright. Duck Dodgers is now fighting, is now pit fighting. These are his opponents. Gregor the Mountain, Garrus Vakarian. Oh, he's pit fighting, not pit bull. I was about to say that's a little messed up, but it's like he's thrown in a pit and he's fighting these characters: the Mountain, Garrus, Thane, River Tam, Kai Lang, Predator Elite, and Grunt. How long does he survive? 10 minutes. So thank you for those questions. Next up is Jesse Sutres, who asks, how long would you orchestrate a multi-part Looney Tunes crossover in the vein of Marvel's Secret Wars 2012, whereas Duck Dodgers and Porky Pig become trapped in a pocket universe alongside the following characters team up to fight the Acme Corporation: Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck from the original shorts, Babs and Buster Bunny from Tiny Toons, Tweety and Granny from Sylvester and Tweety Mysteries, and last but not least, Ace Bunny and Tech Coyote from Looney Tax Unleashed. No, it's a long... So yeah, Secret Looney Tunes, but Secret Wars, but done with Looney Tunes. Oh boy, that would be interesting. Maybe the Acme Corporation would be behind it. Like they tried to use a universe merging machine, and of course it's Acme. It goes wrong. So they basically have to unite all these other universes from these different shows, put them all together. Even the baby Looney Tunes, but they would die soon. Fucking baby Looney Tunes. Anyway, fucking hate that show. Anyway. Second question, so probably be a big crossover and not as a lot more fun, and it would probably be making fun of the event in and of itself. So thank you for that question, Jesse. Moving on now to second question: which classic or obscure sci-fi movies would you like to have shown to parody that they not already? I think they didn't parody Plan 9 from Outer Space. If they didn't, why didn't they? Also, The Day the Earth Stood Still. I think that would also be a fun one. And Robot Monster. Third question: which original character from the show, if you could personally choose to integrate with standard Looney Tunes status quo? Probably the Martian Queen. She was the most popular, so integrate her into the regular status quo. Something like that, maybe? So thank you for those questions, Jesse. Moving on to XB Prostrana, who asks, who was your favorite cameo in the series? Dave Mustaine, Tom Jones, Kevin Smith as Hal Jordan. Even though I'm not the biggest Kevin Smith fan, I was like, Kevin Smith's in this show. It's funny. There was a few... Yeah, John Delancey as Sinestro, and there you go. Favorite character, Queen Tyranny as well. Was there any characters you just wanted to beat the shit out of, like Star Johnson? Fucking hate that guy. I never really hated any of the characters because they all played parodies of science fiction stereotypes. So really, there wasn't any I wanted to beat the shit out of. Anyway, sorry, I had to get some water. Thank you for those questions, XP. Moving on now to Cody Bradish, who asks, what are your thoughts on the Green Lantern crossover? I already answered that one, but yeah. What other space-themed franchises would you like to have seen Duck Dodgers crossover, like ROM, Star Trek, and so on? I think a Star Trek crossover would be hilarious, just to see Dodgers on the beaming platform, and just get beamed down to a planet. And he's like merged to the cadet or something like that, or insult Spock or something, or try to hit on Uhura. Third question: would you like to have see a new version of Duck Dodgers show, or do you think the 2000 show was good enough? I would like to see a new version, but knowing current Cartoon Network, they would try to make it something like the humor would be on the same level as like Teen Titans Go, unfortunately. And even some people some of the shows can be clever about their jokes, like We Bare Bears. They actually have some really clever ass jokes. Like there's effort in that show, I know, but yeah, I think it's good enough as it is. If anything, I think it should come back as an Adult Swim show. But I doubt Warner Brothers would want a adult-themed Looney Tunes cartoon. Thank you for those questions, Cody. Moving on now to Mike Root, who asks, how would you do a Duck Dodgers Invader Zim crossover? I would have it that the Urkin Empire is returning, and now Zim has become their leader. Yeah, Urkins are quintessentially, they can live long lives, apparently. Because Zim, technically, is 50 years old. Yeah. Yeah, he's over, actually, no, he's over his 50s. He's in his, like, he's like in his 60s and 70s in Urkin years. Yeah, just wrap your head around that one. Second question. What other Looney Tunes would you like to see, villains or allies? We have got the majority outside of, we got pretty much all of them outside of Bugs Bunny, really. And I kind of talked about what I'd like to have seen if they had bugs in this show, so anyway. Final question. With the Looney Tunes starting to return to Cartoon Network with Looney Tunes Show and Wabbit, would Duck Dodgers be soon next? I could only hope, but again, I'm kind of worried about it at the same time. Thank you for those questions. Moving on now to Mike. Thank you for those questions, Mike Root. Moving on now to Athavan Rogingham, who asks, how would you imagine a joint mission between Zapp Brannigan and Duck Dodgers turn out? Probably not well. I would imagine those two would probably get into a mountain of shit. And also a lot of women would probably get seduced, or they would get beaten up mercilessly by said women. How drunk do you think Kif and Cadet would be talking about their bosses? Oh, they would just, like, flat out talk about how much they hate the other guy. They'd just be like, oh, you think that's bad? My boss did this, or something like that. And, yeah, Lunatics Unleashed and Duck Dodgers thing I already answered, so think of those questions, Athavan. Now, next up is Shockwave Spider, who asks, would you like to see a Duck Dodgers comic book and video game series, and how would you write it? I don't know what I would write, but to answer that question, yes. Second question, who is your favorite guest star in the series? I already answered that. And third question is, Duck Dodgers versus Emperor Zurg, Lord Hater, Darth Vader, and Zim. Who wins? All together? Yeah, Dodgers is not going to last that one, so I'm not backing that horse. So thank you for those questions, Shockwave. Moving on now to Travis Rendon, who asks, we had an episode where Dodgers became a Green Lantern, so what other DC characters, be it hero or villain, would you like to see Dodgers meet with, and what would happen? I think it would be cool if, like, Dodgers met the New Gods and Darkseid. Like, he was caught in, the Martians have discovered how to use boom tube technology and plan on using it to sneak onto Earth and sneak past Earth and, tongue-tied. They want to use the boom tube technology to, slip by Earth's defenses and mount a surprise invasion, and Dodgers is now forced to team up with Orion to stop Darkseid and Tyranny from destroying all life. Yeah, and also it'd be fun to see Dodgers, like, use a spoon to deflect the Omega beams, or something like that. Anyway. So there you go. The New Gods. Anyway. Second question. Would you like to see a Dodgers versus Dodgers special sort of comic like Deadpool versus Deadpool and see Dodgers team up with another version of himself and take on evil Dodgers? I think it would be cool is like if Dodgers met his original self from the original Duck Dodgers cartoons in the Looney Tunes era, and he would be like, oh Lord, what is up with you, dude? What is that outfit? Did you just come out of a sci-fi cosplay, or what? You even got your dong hanging out, man. Something like that. Third question. If you were Dodgers or Marvin the alien, how would you would you have married and fucked the Queen of Mars? Yeah, not even going to sugarcoat it, definitely. I'm not into animated women, but I'm just saying, when I was a young lad, a strapping young lad beating his meat for the first time. Oh, I'm talking too much. I've been waiting like so long to use that line from DBZ Abridged. Oh man. Anyway. So thank you for those questions, Travis. Moving on now to Wolfman the Impaler, who asks, you are unfrozen in the 24th and a half century and are paired up with Dodgers. And do you go to some space casino and bang some hot alien chicks while gambling, or do you and Dodgers double team? Oh Christ! Do you double team the Martian Queen since she wants Dodgers spiral duck cock? Jesus Christ, man. You also got to remember that duck dicks explode out of the body, so it's like a spring trap. Oh God. Oh man, you have ruined me. True facts about the duck. Anyway, I'm just saying, option 2 is not that bad, but seriously, I gotta go first, because if he goes first, he would just ruin that, like straight up ruin that down there, and there's no front, there's no mouth, so unless she's got really good at handies, I don't know what to tell you, dude. Anyway, Duck Dodgers wander over yonder crossover. What happens? Oh, here's a more sane question. Thank you. Duck Dodgers wander over yonder crossover. I think maybe have it that Wander and Dodgers just encounter each other one day while they're like passing one another, or Dominator's chasing after, or actually have it that Dominator is moving closer and closer to Earth, and now she's on Earth's doorstep, and they just so happen to run into Wander. Something like that, I don't know. So, third question. Team What the Fuck are accidentally thawed out instead of Dave Mustaine and Megadeth in an episode. What happens? Team What the Fuck is Wolfman the Impaler's group of Abridged Nappa, Strax from Doctor Who, Peridot, and I forget the other one. Anyway. But yeah, that would be the weirdest cover band ever. So think of those questions, Wolfman. Next up is Soundwave71 Mosley, who asks, how would you write a Rick and Morty Duck Dodgers crossover? I would have it that Rick is the Martian Queen's ex-boyfriend. that he too left her at the altar. He'd be like, yeah, I was gonna stay, but she wasn't good at blowjobs. like seriously, she was hot, but no mouth, Morty. Just no mouth. And she still talked. It was weird. I couldn't do it, Morty. I couldn't. Oh, jeez, Rick, you're terrible. Shut up, Morty. If I banged her, did you think you would be here? The answer is no, you little shit. I may not be able to voice Rick, but I think I got his mannerisms pretty well down. If I do say, not to toot my own horn, but toot fucking toot. Anyway, there you go. Second question: which Transformer characters would be a great companion to each of the characters from Duck Dodgers? For the cadet, it would be Bumblebee. No, it would be it'd be Bumblebee. Wheeljack would be the Professor IQs. Dodgers would probably have Gears, because they're both assholes. Megatron with Tyranny, and Starscream. No, maybe not Starscream, but maybe Soundwave with Marvin. Anyway, so third question: how would you write a Duck Dodgers and Space Ghost crossover? Ooh. I would have it that the Zorax Empire is encroaching further and further, and now he's launching a war on Martian colonies, and the Earth Federation the Galactic Federation's caught in the middle of it, and they have to call upon Space Ghost to help them, because he's the only person who's ever defeated Zorak. So Dodgers has to go find Space Ghost, who's quintessentially gone into exile, and he's pissed off about it because he thinks he should be the big hero. Anyway, think of those questions, Soundwave. Moving on. Next up is RoboKaiju75, who asks, how would you do a Duck Dodgers Lunatics Unleashed crossover? I don't know. I'm going to answer this one because, yeah, he's asking how I would write this crossover. Maybe Dodgers is tampering with the multiverse, with a machine that can travel through the multiverse, and he's teleporting that universe. I watched so little of Lunatics. I wasn't the biggest fan. I mean, I watched the show of Lunatics Unleashed, but I wasn't the biggest fan of it. So, a lot of my memory isn't too keen on it. So sorry. Anyway, third question: how would you make Dodgers? How would you make a Duck Dodgers game for Wii, Xbox One, and PS4? Probably like I said, side-scroller, like I said before. Third question, how would you do a Jetsons Duck Dodgers animated movie? Perhaps maybe have the Martians are stealing new technology from Spacely's corporation, and Dodgers is sent in to investigate? Something like that, I don't know. Thank you for those questions, Robo Kaiju. Moving on now to KY Dog Star 25, and he asks, did you see the episode Samurai Quack where it's a parody of Samurai Jack? Yes. I should have mentioned this earlier, but that's also one of my favorite episodes. God damn, do I love that episode. And also, Happy Cat. Ha ha ha! You think I go away? I stay right here! Ha ha ha! Wake up! You are lazy and worthless. Oh, I miss you, Mako. I miss you. Seriously, like, that's some of the best shit, like, him as Happy Cat, the Happy Cat alarm clock, and how they, even, like, Gennady Tarkovsky, who I think had a hand in that episode, had so much fun doing that. It was such a perfect parody episode. Second question, what would it be if there was a crossover between Duck Dodgers and Buzz Lightyear of Star Command? I would have it that Dodgers has to team up with Star Command, who are like a branch of the United Federation or whatever the hell they call themselves, and Dodgers is sent in to help with a Martian threat when they suspect Tyranny and Zurg are working together. I don't know. That's like the rough idea. All right, third question: what would it be if, or the future? What would they be if there was a Futurama Duck Dodgers crossover special? First off, that would be awesome. Secondly, I think the story would be like Dodgers and the cadet are forced to work with the delivery company when they are tasked to secretly deliver parts for a weapon that will defeat the Martian Empire, or something like that. Anyway, so there you go, guys. I think that's all the questions. Once again, if I did not answer someone's question, that usually means it was either marked as spam or didn't show up at all on the list. But I want to thank everyone who sent in questions. This was a lot of fun. And yeah, once again, hope you all enjoyed this, and I will see you guys later.